Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Marwa Jassim Ubaid. I will introduce my research paper, which is critical stylistics, supervised by Dr. Iman Adil Jafar. First, I will give the definition of critical stylistics. It's a subdiscipline of applied linguistics devised by Jeffries, 2010. It draws its insight from stylistics, feminine stylistics, and critical discourse analysis. This critical stylistics provides a link between stylistics with its emphasis on linguistic devices and critical discourse analysis, with its focus on the contextual features of powerful language. The most important thing in critical stylistics is concerned with the presentation of ideology in language. Jeffries, in 2010, employs a set of systematic and analytic tools to investigate the way linguistic choices are used to present ideology of text producers. She sets 10 tools. We can also give a definition to critical stylistics is a method of analyzing text to reveal the ideological construction dependent on transitivity as well as other textual practices. So Jeffries wants to give an overall model of analysis within critical stylistics. So we will talk about the 10 tools that's so important in critical statistics, which is naming and describing, presenting action, event states, quoting and contrasting, amplifying and enumerating, prioritizing, assuming and implying, negating, hypothesizing, presenting the speech and thoughts of other participants, and finally, presenting time, space, and society. Now we will talk about one flaws of critical discourse analysis, CDA. CDA is that contains a lack of comprehensive, complete account of tools for the analyst to utilize, which can be seen as a drawback of it being a multidisciplinary field. Here's critical statistics want to counter this flaw through the introduction of a systematic analytical model which integrates tools from statistics and critical statistics and critical linguistics for the sake of embedding the linguist choices of text producers and their possible ideological motives and implications. Jeffries remarked that critical stylistic and critical discourse analysis doesn't present a coherent framework of analysis that can bring to the surface the hidden ideologies found in text. So for this reason, she sets out to introduce a list consisting of 10 analytical tools in order to recompense for the lack of comprehensiveness found in this area. Now I will talk about the nominalization. Nominalization, this concept has been enormously important in the development of CDA, particularly in the early Fuller's work on the East Anglian schools. Fuller thinks of nominalization as a process of syntactic reduction as transformation, which reduces a whole clause into its encloses the verb and turning that into a noun. So here the scholars treat nominalization as if it were an entity rather than an activity. Critical discourse analysis have suggested that nominalization has significant ideological function, such as dilating agency and refining. This means that by agentless statements, less information is conveyed, and by converting verbs into nouns, the drafters can convey that the entities have a real and necessary existence. Even the advantages of CDA, but some critics have suggested that in certain contexts it is by no means mystificatory to use immobilization. Another line of criticism suggests that critical discourse analysis have failed to specify that sort of process normalization is. If verbs are said to be transformed into nouns, then how and when and by whom is this transformation accomplished? Ideology and text. First, I will give the definition of ideology, which is a system of ideals, and beliefs shared with a specific or group of people. The important distinguished feature of critical statistics is the interest in exposing the underlying ideology of text. So this is so important in critical statistics. This aim is shared with the CDA, but it has recently become less interested. There are some exceptions to this trend for CDA. For example, Hart implies cognitive linguistics framework to CDA analysis, and Becker and Neri, amongst others, attempted to combine CDA with Kurb's methods. For applying critical stylistics, I choose poetry, which is a poem, Death Be Not Proud. It is a holy sonnet by John Donne. Here in this poem, the author places the reader in the viewing position of the consciousness behind the text, which is the author himself. In line 14, where the author talks about death in the third person reference, before shifting back to direct address. The author also uses a personal pronouns, which is so, the, when addressing death, in order to include the readers in his viewpoint. Also, the poet employs personal pronouns, which is me, our, us, we, to talk about the living, making himself as though speaking on their behalf to a direct mutual enemy. When the poet refers to the dead, he uses the demonstrative those and the possessive there in order to create the didactic center, which is himself and those he represents. And soonest our best man with thee do go. One short sleep past, we wake eternally. Here, regarding the time, the poet uses the time adverbial, which is soonest, and the adverbs past and eternally. Past and eternally, all having the desired contextualized meaning in the point of view of the poet and those he stands for. Death be not proud, though some have called thee. Die not, poor death, nor yet canst thou kill me. and death shall be no more, death thou shalt die. Here the poet uses the adverb no more in order to project the extinction of death in the hypothesized afterlife.